everyone. Hello everyone. It's been a while and I know it. But well, with everything happening all around the world and in my life, I would say it was justified, and obviously Christmas. So as it's been a while, I'm obviously going to just say hello to you guys, and I'm really hoping that we're going to have a little bit of conversation going. Tell me, how was your new year? Do you have any plans? Because my name is Mike and I'm a teacher for VizAcademy. VizAcademy is an online school that will teach you how to create beautiful visualizations in less than 7 weeks. And from what I can see, it's probably just my computer glitching out. I cannot see any chat, so if you guys could let me know if you can hear me, if everything is okie dokie, it would be absolutely super duper fun. And now let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the upcoming thing. So as you know, there's that thing called Corona, and Corona 14 dropped a few weeks ago. I would even say a month and a half, but it has a couple of things that I want to discuss, and those are the features that I'm actually going to start adding to my workflow. So I'm skipping a couple of them, but at the same time, I will be going through those features in, well, this kind of manner, or following this list. Happy New Year to you too. Hey Mike, everything is okay? Thank you. I really appreciate the fact that you guys are helping me out. So let's get started. VizAcademy online school, join us. Available dates, check them. That's basically what I'm going to say. But the first thing that I want to talk about is the Gaussian splats. So what are Gaussian splats and how do we get them? Gaussian splats are a typical weird versions of proxies. Those are proxies plus 3D scan made out of video. You can use a lot of apps to make it. One of the best that I found is Polycam. It works really great. And also some software called Joso, so something like that, Joso, but I don't have it installed on this computer because recently my computer burned again. Happy New Year to you too, Remy. First thing first, it's our Gaussian splats, and as I said, getting those is quite easy. I typically just go to Polycam and look for the community stuff. No, this is not me promoting them. This is just something that I use, and we're not sponsored by them. I'm probably going to skip this website because a lot of thirsty content got uploaded and I don't want to get banned. And long story short, Gaussian splats are available here, and you just download them in the SLP format. So it's a splat format. That's basically it. What it really is, it's an amalgamation of points. Each point is going to be actually assigned a small texture, so at a certain angle those textures are going to look incredibly good. So if we think about it, this is not a full object. This is actually some sort of small planar object that, if we zoom in far enough to, we're going to start seeing those small, let's say, patches or elements. If the splat is done really well, it's going to look amazingly high quality. But what is it good for, and why is it a big thing? First of all, you can make splats on your own. For example, take a drone and just fly around. I know everybody owns a drone, but really you can also take footage from your phone and use that for a splat. The thing with the splats is that it doesn't necessarily recreate the object itself. It recreates the angle at which the camera was looking at the object. So the more angles you cover, the better the splat is going to be. And for example, if the object is going to have a certain highlight on a certain side, you're also going to record that. But that's a different story. Now, how do we use the splats, and where can we find them in Corona? Because those are newly added. Well, honestly, that is super duper simple. Corona, and just like with proxies, we're going to go to Gaussian splats and we just create an object. The object is going to be pretty much the same icon as the Corona volume grid. They're not very creative out there. Honestly, I was expecting something better. The proxy has a different icon, but I guess it's like, you know, the feature beats the icon, I guess. So let's say that if you're not confused, and I was kind of confused and disappointed that this is what they chose. But let's go ahead and go to Corona Splats, load a file, and all we need to do is go to PLA file, and voila, we just loaded a splat. Now, by default, the splat is going to look really off. It's something like this. You cannot make anything out of it. And the only way we can display it is as wirebox or point cloud. So naturally, you're going to be topping up the point cloud to something around 25, because that's when it's going to be something that you can actually look at and make something out of. So that's what I'm doing, but from what I found, 15% works really well as long as you don't zoom in. If you zoom in, you have to go higher for the finer detail. So how do we use it? What is it? Again, think about it as a point proxy that's self-illuminated. So what does it do? Actually nothing, but it's very useful in a sense, because we can actually position objects around this, and those objects are going to be, let's say, lit by the environment. So again, it's as if you would be using the shadow catcher on steroids. Quite literally, shadow catcher on steroids. That's already pre-scanned for your convenience. So every object that our elements should be seeing first, there's a material override, sorry. So every object we're going to be looking at is going to be reflected in our splat, or our splat is going to be reflected in the object. So again, it's going to be super cool for adding buildings and new elements into the scene. But, well, adding anything to a scene like this where everything has their parts already out there, it's not really going to be that easy. So in reality, it actually works quite well if we create a box, right? Then we use a Corona slicer material, and the slicer is going to allow us to cut through, but the default is not going to allow you to even cut the way I did right now. So the cutting is only possible if you're going to be lowering the quality, or let's say lowering the sampling. So we've got the scholastic sampling. If we enable it, our splat is going to really react poorly to anything we do with our Corona slicer material, especially if we just try to look around. It is going to be cutting in a very weird manner. It cuts through, but it just creates a void in it. You can see that now we're looking through it, although it would be expected that I'm going to see another building behind this one. Although, if we change that one setting, and this is something that I found by trial and error, if we just work with this value, it is going to change how it behaves. It's now a 3D object, and it actually is something useful. So I'm not going to say that what I did with it is going to be the epiphany of quality, but if you want to use it and apply some other objects into the scene and use the elements as a context, this is how you can do it. So the Gaussian splats, how are we going to use it? Well, we're going to be using those as a context and as objects of higher quality, but mostly for the background. So think about it this way. You need a view outside your window. This is fantastic. This is three-dimensional, and it renders instantly. The, let's say, minus part of it is that those splats typically the files are going to be heavy, but at the same time, the way those splats work is so efficient that copying the elements and creating backgrounds for your interiors and exteriors as well is going to just be one-click solution. So again, I would say this feature, we already talked about it in the V-Ray video, because we also talked about newer V-Ray installment, because V-Ray already has it, but from what I heard, and I hope that this is something that we can rely on, the team is already working on making the splats react to the lighting. Obviously, there are baked-in shadows, so there's not much we can do about it. But I'm guessing that at some point we're going to have some sort of software that will be reinterpreting and reimagining our splats, some sort of AI splat machine, as if the slop we're getting isn't bad enough. I think that this is actually going to be a very useful feature as soon as we can cast shadows with it, as soon as we can reflect on its surface. It is going to be a total game changer for the backgrounds, and I really think that adding it to your interiors is going to be super good, because look at this. Now, regardless of what angle I'm going to be looking at, both the background from HDRI and my buildings, this is seamless, perfect, and I cannot really stress enough how good it feels to look at it. Maybe on your screens it's not as good, but here on my side I love it, and I know that with newer technologies, enhancing of images, it's just going to be a piece of cake. So Gaussian Splat, it's a huge plus for me. It's something that I was waiting for, because I used to renovate churches, I used to make some clubs in the past, so having a splat to put this into the whole thing, I love it. So very cool feature, and that's the biggest one for me in terms of my professional work, but there are lots of cool cosmetics that I really want to share with you. Hello Mike, I hope you remember Amol from this side. Lots of love from India, thank you very much, and it's highly appreciated. I love seeing you guys returning to our channel, because, well, let's be honest, I've been silent on our YouTube for a while, especially with those live streams, but now we're going to be doing each webinar, webinar each week again, so we can basically have a little bit of a chat again. So let's go ahead and not save this this particular scene, and let's move on to something that I found also very useful. Again, it's not a big feature. I mean, I'm not going to be calling it a big feature, or let's not make it a bigger thing that it is. I don't know how to say it, but typically when we're talking about something called AI enhancing, you're going to be thinking total change of everything. Anna, hello, nice to, hey, how are you? Seen you on Theodore's channel. Love that you're getting better and better. Now, Happy New Year to you too. I love seeing you guys. So, still working with 3ds Max. What's your favorite tool recently? I know that a lot of you switched to using VizMaker, Nano Bananas, and other AIs. Tell me more about it, because I want to kind of get to the trenches, see what you guys are using and what you found to be the most efficient. Now, let's talk about AI Enhancer in Corona. So again, it's a feature that was here already, but now they made it a little bit better, easier to use. So to use it, you just need to create your scene as normally you would, and you're going to be using C masking enchanter for the render elements. There is a bit of a side note from me. If I would be able to give them a tip, I would just say, don't when it comes to one part of this description. Note, if the Z geometry Z depth element is present, so the depth of the scene is present, it's going to be used as default. But if it's not, it's going to be using the clipping of your camera. So that would make a lot of sense, if not the fact that whenever you use any kind of camera clipping in Corona, by default, the value far is 10,000. So we're basically creating something like this. So the depth map makes no sense because of the default if you're not going to pay special attention to that. And I bet nobody is going to be aiming perfectly to just make sure that the far value is right behind the scene. So I would say that this is not yet developed fully, but the whole shtick is like this. You create your image, and then you click on, you add that see enchanting thingy. And once it's rendered, you just click on this. Upload this image data necessary for AI enhancer. And then you just go to the collaboration tab. And well, you go to the online. So I guess I just click on this. It takes a while. Now we've got this and we want to upload new version, upload file. Where's the go to cloud? So this is supposed to be go to cloud? No? Oh my God. Okay, cool. Yeah, I love this cloud thingy. It almost works. It's something that I found to be, wait a second. 1 second, I just need to sign in to my account. Here we are. So it should take me here, right? And now I made a lot of tests and I deleted some of them, but for me, the AI they're presenting needs just a little bit of work. I wouldn't say it's bad, but by default, you're going to be uploading your file. By default, I had lower resolution textures. You can see the pixels, you can actually count those, and not everything is high quality, I would say. So by default, you can click the enhance, or you can go to edit and choose another option, which is the upscaling. Upscaling is a game changer. This is really good. So combined with render RAM's trick that everybody heard about, and I'm going to come clean. I feel butthurt because I was using that, but I haven't made a video on it. And when he did, it blew up, and I must say, congratulations, man. That was really fantastic. Now, the AI enhancer works this way. You just click on it, and the AI is going to do its thing. So the thing is that it's going to be looking for objects to enhance. So enchanting those is going to kind of mean that you need a good quality image. So I took a little bit of time to add a couple of nice looking people and a swan, all assets from Chaos Cosmos, to just see what it does to a file that actually has humans, because that's supposedly going to be a little bit better. Hi Mike, are you still offering a light version of your visualization course? That was I would say flash sale for just the Black Friday, but we might return to it at some point. But we're reviewing some of the videos, making better stuff, and we're going to be making it a little bit more fun. So yes, AI enchanting, I would say enhancing, but you know, enchanting sounds kind of cooler. So that's why I use that word. So the thing is that if we actually start using it on objects that make more sense and wait it out, because that also takes a while. What I hate about this, or I would like this to be better, that's a better way of putting it. The thing here takes a while, and the last time when I was uploading this file or a similar file, it took 20 minutes almost. So what we're going to be able to do is we're going to be able to determine what parts of the image contain humans, and we're going to be able to enhance those. So AI enhancer, now since it's calculated and it's actually faster this time, we should be able to find objects. Okay, so once it loads, yeah, any minute now. So finally we've got it. So we can select objects, which is ultra cool. The swan isn't an object, basically. Lucky for us, all the people were found as people, so this is cool. And now we can just go ahead and change this those people appearance to make them look a little bit better, because oh my god, I misclicked. Your fellow Mike playing Dungeons and Dragons here. I mean, I might be. So adult, gender, male. Are both of them going to be that? That would be sad. And we're going to go for no further changes. So let's make those faces manly, I guess, because they're connected, because that's one asset in Chaos Cosmos library. So potentially either it's because they're so close to one another, or I'm not sure, but it's likely because this is an asset that the AI was able to determine. So okay, let's go for adult. I absolutely I have a lot of my heart skips a beat each time when AI asks me for adult, because that can only lead to something really weird. But let's see. This is so much better. Alfonso here, I would say, kind of they really did this woman dirty, but this guy, that's way better look on for him. I would definitely love to see the enhancing on a little bit different note, because this is an asset that's from Corona library or okay, lovely. That's actually really cool. Now I'm convinced. So we're basically in a position where from almost good image we actually have a really nice lady. I mean, better looking lady. So yeah, so definitely that's gonna be my profile picture for a while. But at least you must admit that this is just pure love. They're just that you can sense that's amazing. But I am kind of curious what else have it okay, that's perfect. Now is it going to be able to do anything with that? Let's see, because that's something that I was kind of thinking about. What will it do to a clay pot like that? Because vegetation, that's a vegetation object. Okay, so it found an object that it knew it might have been a part of the library, and because of that, it's going to be pre-trained on it. That's what I would assume. But okay, that's a good enchantment. That I love. That's fantastic. Now, enhancing is kind of cool. So enchant whole image. We can basically not choose any presets and just go ham on every feature in here, which is going to be something that a lot of people use these days. So you basically need to add a little bit of that extra. So we're going to be changing some details in the image. Once it's there, we're going to be masking out what we like and dislike, probably in Photoshop or other software, because obviously, although love Alfonso, this person is definitely not supposed to look the way AI made that person look. But again, it's just probably something that we're going to be fixing, and this is something that I found by a sheer coincidence, because I was expecting that those are going to be split, but because it's an asset, they're connected, and that's kind of cool, but also yeah, it's something. Okay, so enhancing is doing its thing. AI be casting spells on the scene. Yes, it's definitely doing that. some kind of finger of death, I guess, or transmutation for most of the people. Now, let's see what we have in here. So when it comes to enchanting the whole image, it's basically going to... Did I lose that? No way. Okay, so we can go ahead and first of all, upscale our images. That's a big one because although the pixel quality was low, we can upscale everything, and that's something that again I think is a big thing because rendering takes time. If we can render something and scale it up using algorithms and save ourselves a little bit of time on that, that is something that I'm going to be absolutely happy about. And this is not some kind of work that... I know it's not the biggest project ever, I get that. But again, it's something that I just recently did for a client. This is almost finished version. Obviously, the towel looks awful, but it's something we're going to be working on to make it better. But both the enhancing and upscaling makes the elements look a little bit more sophisticated and better. So it basically brings more quality for free, and that's something worth mentioning. So this was successful, and what it did, it added a bit of, I don't know, Gaussian blur to like everything. And okay, this one is cool. Okay, so I would say the face lifting, very cool feature. Vegetation lifting, also very cool, but it's only going to be probably finding those assets that are quite literally called, or let's say from the Chaos Cosmos library, which is kind of safe way to put it. And I don't hate it. I would like to prompt that. So let's say make Alfonso have a little bit bigger earrings, but that's cool. I'm not going to say that it's useless. I'm going to say it needs a little bit of work, but that's why it's called beta, because once it's out, it's definitely going to be much, much better. So that's a big feature for me. So enhancing and upscaling, it's a big thing for us. It's just going to save us money, I guess. So next thing is that I wanted to talk about the moon, the moon people. So let's see. Why are you saying enchanting? Does it look similar to mother language word? No, it's just me having fun. Enchanting, it's just a type of upgrading in the nerd world. So sorry for that. Enhancing, it's just, I know, it's totally different word. But for me, they kind of have the same meaning. So sorry for that, Juan. That's just me having some fun. Lol, are we loving the enchantments? Honestly, don't change it. Yeah, feels like we are playing Magic the Gathering while we are rendering. It kind of does, and I would say that now, you know, the thing is that the developer of Corona, the first guy, Onra, always said rendering is magic, and we finally reached that point. Sadly, maybe I had a dream about it, but I heard that the main developer actually resigned and gave Corona to the team. But this is just me not being sure if I was dreaming about it or what. Some sort of nightmare, right? Finally, some real moon landing. I know! So, as we all know, moon landing was a hoax by FBI and everybody else to just push Corona renderer a little bit further, because since everybody found out that what USA did was a fake, Corona stepped in, and now we're going to defend the honor and we're going to do our own moon landing. So, not really, but let's talk about how it actually works and what is it, what's the big thing, the moon in Corona. So I opened up a scene by one of our students, and because I want to give credit to our students, this is a scene by Isabella Milke, and she created this during our training. Obviously, she had a little bit of help from our support, but everything she did here is her doing. I'm only going to mess up this scene, and sorry for that, but I love seeing this, and I planned to make a webinar on it a while ago, but regardless, let's get into it. The feature is the sky, I mean the moon. So typically whenever I work with environments, I want to make sure that I create some sort of a tab for all of my environmental objects. By the way, about the Gaussian splats, I really wish that the Gaussian splat values and all the changes that you can do were not the part of, let's say, menu in modify, but it kind of should be a material for me, just something like a shadow cacher, but then again it makes no sense to split that, so I'm just going to say that maybe it could be better. But let's go. Oh, no. NVIDIA, let's go for this. Okay, we're not doing some kind of direct visibility. We're not that lame. We're going raw. Okay, so VizAcademy UK, Happy New Year. Panama City, Panama. Thank you, Jose. I really appreciate it. Hey, Robin, how are you? Is that you, Robin? Nice. Okay, so let's see. The corona color correction is not something needed here. It's just a little bit of brightness enhancement, so we might as well just clean it up. But the whole thing is going to connect to two things. One, a new tab making the sky a little bit more, well, a little bit packed at the moment. It used to be just one line, sky, let's go, and it was cool, but now we have so many features that you kind of hate and love it at the same time. It's just that it gets more and more features each time, so that's a plus. Now, enable stars. That's basically all we need to do to make our sky appear more nightish. I mean, we still need two elements to also work. First is we need to park our sun in such a way that it's going to be well, behind the horizon, because now it's the middle of the day. So thanks to the modern corona, we can now create a nice night shot in just seconds. But it's night, so in order to see the sky or the anything on the sky, we are going to need to make sure that we have enough of our exposure. And because of the positioning and lighting of our objects on the sky, in the sky, I would say that it's going to be a good idea to go back a little bit and play with the stars a bit more. So typically we want to go for size multiplier, and we're going to be typing in something around 5, and that makes it less realistic, obviously. Doesn't change the sun, because for corona it's not really a sun, a star. So again, a flat earth confirmed. So what it really strives on or works best with is the size 5 is really awful. What it works best with is the intensity multiplier. We are going to have to add to it to see anything makes sense. We can change the longitude and altitude, latitude and longitude to see a little bit more of our stars, and we can also add the Milky Way multiplier. If we rotate our sky well enough, we should be able to see it. But the size difference is going to be just randomization, so that's it. But the big thing is the moon, and guys, you need to see this. I mean, it is going to be super cool, and so the biggest, the most underwhelming, I would say, thing in the world. I mean, it's good, it's fantastic, it's something that I was waiting for such a long time, but we need to try and see it. Okay. No, wait. I blew it. I blew it. I blew it. I was supposed to show it to you the way it's default. So default, we're going to see our moon as a dot. So now I'm going to go for exposure 0. So, and also rotation 0, phase 0. Sorry, I should have resetted it. But the thing is that this is how the moon is going to look like once you add it to a regular exterior scene. So you're going to see absolutely nothing because it's just going to be a dot. As it should be, because when you take a photo of the moon, you typically see a small dot of it, and that's what we're seeing here. And the thing is that finally somebody thought, hey, how about we pull off a Samsung here and make it a little bit less a little bit more obvious, I would say. So in this case, we can go for a bit higher value in our intensity. The fact is that the moon actually casts some light. It is going to be a good idea to make the moon a little bit less intense if you're going to be doing what I did. Well, 30 times bigger moon than it should be. Oh my god. Let's... Okay, dude. Just chill. Disk brightness, let's... By the way, the disk brightness, that's something that I would say is a scam. That's just opacity, and at some point we're going to see it. But long story short, to see the moon, we can see that, well, we need to make it nice and big so we can actually see it in our scene. It's going to require a little bit of back and forth to have a nice, let's say, ratio. But the beauty, or let's say the fun part is, and something that I really appreciate, and I must say that it's actually really cool, that whenever you have your sun in the in the scene, and you go higher, the amount of light that your sun produces actually will hide the moon, and that at that point, if we go default on all the brightness and stuff, we're going to be able to see the moon again. But it all depends on the ratio between the two. The next thing that I also found fascinating is that we've got the phase from 0 to 100. So we can change it to basically any kind of value. Okay, it's 360 actually, so I lied. I thought that it's only 100. So we can go for partial moon, or let's say we can... I don't know if we can make the solstice, but I would love to see it. Regardless, it's such a small but fun feature to just add it to your shots. Something that we all saw at some point when we were kids, and we was like, whoa, how is the moon up when it's the day? And this was the... Well, I knew that we're living in a matrix once I saw the moon during the day, so that's basically it. So what moon? That moon was so big it looked like one from Bollywood. I mean, you can actually call it that way, but one feature that it has, and you absolutely have to appreciate it, I'm forcing you to, is that it is going to be behind, not in front of the clouds, so you can actually obscure its vision. So that's really good. Hi button, how do you find a light version? So it should be on our website if it's still there, but I am not sure if our administration didn't remove it because it was a Black Friday thing. But as I said, it may return at some point if there's going to be a lot of questions about it. So we've got a couple of things. Gaussian splats, kind of cool. We've got enhancer, also cool. I mean, enhancer, not enchanter. We've got the upscaler, which is ultra cool. That's the best feature for us. And we also have the night sky, which is super duper cool. Now, another thing worth mentioning, and I think that this is the elements that I would call useful. Another thing that my students also found to be good and practical, because that's a big thing whenever you're conducting a training, is that how well will it translate to your students? Is it some kind of feature that is going to require you to have a PhD or not? So again, it's a beta, so we're not going to be calling it anything else than just a snippet. We're testing it, and right now, if you take part in a survey for Corona guys, you're going to be getting a chance of getting some sort of features for $50, which is cool. Now, I created a couple of materials. One was quite literally a tiled floor. I love it because it made the process much simpler, but it doesn't reimagine the tile, it just makes it on the go. So any texture that you're uploading to this feature should be already really good quality. If the quality is low, it's not going to magically make it better. It just doesn't do that. The second material that I created was just to test if a wooden planks wouldn't work badly. I mean, I would say that considering how the texture looked like and what it really was, where's my thing? So this texture is okay. Just the first texture downloaded off the internet, also not very high quality, but it's definitely not seamless. It has a little bit of bad lighting on it. You can see that. But the software that we used to create this map kind of made it worse. And I'm going to show you how it works in a second. I mean, not worse, but it didn't do much. So Xform. And to answer a question, is it good to use as a beginner or in your scenes? I would definitely say yes. It's good enough to cover the need for a new map if you're going to have just lousy texture, because it does something. It tries its best to make it make sense. It's still not algorithmically pure and perfect like everything around us, but you get it. You can see that it tried doing its best. So I would say this is not going to be good for planks or for very contrasting elements, but it's going to be perfect for simpler materials, such as fabrics or, well, fabrics. That's basically where it excels only. So that is fantastic. I would say this fabric texture, it was good to begin with, but now it's even better. It has all the maps that we would ask for. It has normal map, it has the 3-planar map, randomization, everything is added here. So that's a really cool feature. It saves a ton of time, but again, I'm going to show you a couple of things that I found that I'm not sure or necessarily loving about it still. So if we select a texture that we know for a fact is supposed to be a texture that is let's say in a square form like this one, that's going to work perfect. If it's going to be a horizontal, well, maybe we're going to be lucky. But if we're going to choose something that's in a portrait mode, and I specifically created this again with VizAcademy Maker based on the photo, I prompted the VizAcademy Maker to clean up the reflections, clean up any kind of highlights, make this a pure diffuse albedo map, because I'm creating a visual for a client of mine, and I really didn't want to create anything extra for this door. But then I thought, hey, how about I test if I can make a quick wood texture out of it? So seems fair enough. Okay, it loaded. Settings. In settings, this is a bit confusing for me. Roughness controls how shiny or matte the surface is. So is this shiny or is this matte? How is this? What part of it is shininess? I would say This for me would be the matte, because I would expect that shininess is going to be higher, but the roughness works the opposite way in this case. So that's a little bit confusing. I don't like it because there's no description for me, and I'm thinking about it from a perspective of somebody who opens it up for the first time. I'm not experienced in 3ds Max, and this is not really a good design. Now, pattern, and that's where it really kind of okay, it doesn't work for me at all, because we cannot scale to cover the full texture. Even if I'm going to turn off the make tileable option, it's still not going to allow me to use the whole texture. So kind of pointless for 50% of all materials I'm going to be making. Okay, fun, let's go back and actually use a better texture, something suitable. So make tileable is going to make it tileable. We've got the reflections, normal, let's put it up and generate. So select pattern, we just need to either allow it to do the smart pattern, which is always going to just go for a super small size, or just whatever, and we just generate it, and that's it. Okay, I want your class, but I have no money yet. Okay, we'll wait for you. Right now I'm in the modeling section. So far the modeling, don't expect really advanced modeling. Okay, but it's totally enough for ArcViz, and I'm pretty sure that the other section, lighting and materials, will be really good. So yes, the modeling part is specifically not supposed to be very elaborate. Let's be honest. If you want to master modeling, there's a lot of resources even on our channel that will help you out. And in ArcViz, you don't need to be a master of it. You just need to be good enough to let's call it to trick your viewer into believing that what you actually created is what we're trying to show them. So in most of the cases, I would say that we don't need high quality models. Plus, the modeling part right now is getting more and more redundant thanks to extremely good libraries available online, and AI like Meshy or other software that will help us with that. And over time, it's only going to get better. So meanwhile, while I was talking about it, I also created this material, and I must say that the fabric, when it comes to fabric, love it. This is actually a good feature for material creation. It's still kind of tileable. You can see that although randomization is applied, it kind of shows still. But if we play a little bit more with the actual randomization, because by default they're almost randomizing, but not really, so that's kind of stupid. So if we actually randomize the texture 0 to 1, 0 to 1, and start rendering, that's where it's going to look better, and we can just, oh my god, wrong material. Regardless, let's go for the previous one, because it's the same thing. Now, if we actually randomize it and add the values and test it once or twice, that material becomes really good. So that's a good feature. That's beginner friendly, confusing, but really friendly for beginners. So I would give it a big 7 out of 10. It's not perfect, it has its limitations, but for somebody who has no idea how to create materials, I would say it's good. I would say it's really, really good. Okay, is ArcViz good in Poland? I would say that it's really amazing. Most of the best companies out there in the world actually come from Poland, which is super fun, and like Evermotion and a lot of those companies that you heard about for years. It turns out that a lot of them are from Poland, and maybe that's a coinky dinky. But now enter the biggest and the most, I would say, amazing feature. Out of all the features, those were cosmetics, not very useful for everyday user, but one really stands out. It can be found right next to physical material, and that is Corona fabric. From what I heard, hair material, layered material, and all those also have newer UI, which is good, I guess. But what this material does, it changes everything. So let's apply it to our object. At first, you need to be aware of one thing. This material is going to be extremely heavily reliant on your UVW mapping, but it's not like we cannot really, let's say, change that or fix it. UVW mapping is a thing that we can really work with, but really, let's just get into it. Presets, that's where it shines. We've got our presets of beautiful textures. I'm absolutely flabbergasted why it wasn't a thing earlier, but if we just change the scaling on our texture, and you can see something that again I found it to be counterintuitive. The scaling, if I want the scale to be bigger, I want, this should be just size, not scale, because scale doesn't mean a lot. But then again, working with UVs, you cannot expect proportions. But look at that. This material, it creates absolutely amazing patterns out of just blue. And the beauty of it is that you've got so many amazing controls to change it. Let's test the presets first, because those are really beautiful and those are going to blow your mind. So 100. Bamboo, plain bamboo. Let's go for another one. Flat, okay, but oh my god. Okay, now we're talking. So blended polyester, look at that. It just looks beautiful. It renders extremely fast. It's super duper high quality. As I said, it's dependent on the UVW mapping, so that's one thing that, again, I cannot say a bad word about the fact that I'm getting libraries for free, but if you add a feature that's heavily reliant on something like this, we might be, let's say, as a developer of this software, you might be tempted to at least, I don't know, pack the UVs in such a way that those are going to correspond to one another, to scale them correctly. But this is just something that they're going to probably vet at some point. So UVW X form, let's go for tiling 0.5, 0, and 0.5 as well. So now it should be closer to each other in scale wise. So 6, maybe 6 is going to do it. Now, this should make sense because now those are going to be a little bit better. Now, that is quality, absolutely amazing quality, and I am just in love. This is the feature that should be in day one in Corona. That is just beautiful. It works flawlessly, it's super duper fast, and honestly, the fabric, I know it's just a fabric, but it's a fabric. It's so good, and we've got all of the usual suspects, X and Y pattern changes. So if we make this thinner, it's just going to make the pattern blow up. It's very delicate, and you cannot really overestimate how much you have to, how little you can change in those presets, because you're going to just blow them up. But regardless, it's a good thing still. We've got so many cool features in here. I just love it. I'm a fan. I am definitely going to be recommending this to my students, and this one feature is a game changer. Out of all those features that we had in Corona 14, this is something that's going to revolutionize how people create materials for their sofas, for their curtains. This is really different, and I love it. We can control both the X and Y values, I mean the threads, so it's basically just the easiest thing ever. We can apply colors or textures for it and create beautiful patterns. Again, it's just instantly good. It just renders such a nice in such a nice way that I love it. We've got the usual suspects, the roughness, the sharpness, the reflection, every aspect of it can be changed. Plus we got the refraction, so we can even make this type of fabric, which is something that everybody was waiting for. And believe me, this is again a total game changer to have the ability to create those shiny, nice sofas, velvety looks. This is really amazing, and I am a fan. So we've got options for the sheen layer, the roughness, displacement, and all. We can plug in a ton of maps. It's a little bit lengthy and quite big, and I would say that making a separate video on this feature is something that I would say makes sense. But at the same time, I don't want to make it too obvious. I mean, obvious. It should be obvious, but this is just good. This is fantastic, and wow, it's fabulous. I love how this fabric works, and for once, I'm absolutely excited, and it really changes how the fabrics are built in Corona. And again, roughness 0, roughness 1, so we can just change anything. Hello, Mike. Will you explain the new fabric material in this webinar? I think we can go through it, but I would like to go in a more compact way. So if you wouldn't mind, I would rather talk about it in a separate, shorter video. So it's going to be compressed. It's going to be do this, do that to get that effect. Because right now I am honestly just checking it out and falling in love with Corona again. But there's so many features that they added, so many cool presets that you can just open up and fall in love with like instantly. This is just quality, and you cannot tell me otherwise. So that one thing is really good. Okay, I am probably overselling it. It's not the new coming of the Messiah. It's just something that I'm going to be using, and I actually like it. So that's definitely well, a good feature. They did their job really well. Still, I don't get the scaling here. It's something that I would say kind of is lackluster, because the presets do have random scaling for me. But again, it's just something that probably is just too complex for my little brain to comprehend. Regardless, it's like having Corona pattern plus material plus hair and fur in one, and that's good. So VizAcademy will make you a master though. Thank you, Robin. I wasn't expecting such nice praises. So thank you very much. Thank you very much for that. Guys, I think that the rest of the features, performance upgrades, updated video frame buffer, where it kind of looks the same but now has 2 more icons, and okay, that's a feature, I guess. And now avoidance groups in scatter, that's such a small thing that I'm not going to even bother showing it to you, but those exist, and that's basically it. I would say that for a long time, Corona didn't have any good updates, and for once it really has something that makes it shine again, and I'm going to just say that I like the new upgrade. One thing that you also need to be aware of is that once you have the refraction in your material, that's some of them will react this way. Also, some of those fabrics, when you're using them, will react differently at different angles, especially if your object is going to be using symmetry. You may end up with 2 different let's say types of reflections on one material or one object. This can be really seen with the blend polyester. You can see it here. That's actually something that's natural because the fabrics are going left and right, and you can see that here the pattern is rotated 90 degrees, and because of that it reflects differently, because the fabrics are just tubes, and because of that, those reflect differently. And knowing that it works this way kind of confused me at first, but then it struck me that it's just exactly how it's supposed to be. And I am going to be honest, this one feature is the biggest update for Corona since a while. So guys, I think we're going to end up here. Next time we're going to be going back to our roots, and I'm going to create some sort of scene from scratch. So be on the lookout on our Instagram, because I want you to vote. What scene should we be building? Also, because our members are people that I want to also support a little bit more, the members are going to get access to both of those scenes, regardless which one you're going to be choosing. So this is going to be something to have fun with. Also, I'm working on a small series of videos on the studio rendering, which is probably going to be also available only for our members. So this is something that makes it worth your while to subscribe to us. Now, if you enjoyed this, if you enjoyed our company, if you want more videos of this type with some kind of feature review, with additional portfolio reviews, and well, ways to start your journey with 3ds Max, please make sure to join us by subscribing. And if you really want to go beyond and top up your skills and become a master of 3ds Max, go ahead and visit either our Instagram as a proof. So I'm absolutely unprepared here. Go to VizAcademy UK and check out our students' work. All what that you see is our students' work and ideas. By the way, my internet is the slowest ever, and it looks as if it's struggling. Regardless, I'm absolutely loving all of my students. Guys, you are awesome. And just to show you something, this is literally an ongoing group's work by Quentin, and I must say that this is Clayton, sorry, and this is absolutely amazing. So I am going to always say it. Oh, by the way, this is also a current group, and Tehila, love you. Just keep being awesome. You guys really. Oh, by the way, that's also Claudia. Nice. There's more of this group where yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. So thank you so much, guys. See you next week. 3D modeling, be on the lookout on our Instagram, because we're going to be having a vote on what to do. Thank you, Mike. You were enchanting. My God, you're such a charmer. Thank you so much, and see you next time. Bye-bye, guys. See you next time.